All right. So I was just gonna have a look at Bitcoin. So this is the level we have been previously talked about multiple times. It's this daily key level. We had this 89k area marked out for like the past, I want to say 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. And I talked quite a bit about it. Was it last week or the week before that? And yeah, as like into that Monday, we absolutely got a nice liquidity sweep right there. So we did sweep all of these untouched lows from previous dumps, and we tapped into those daily key levels, swept up that 89.7 liquidity that I was looking at, and had an absolutely amazing reaction based off that. So like after that, that's what I'm looking for our correction to be done for this larger correction wave. That's the C point I wanted. That's the C point that we got, and with a very bullish reaction. So let's just start off by looking at some liquidity levels and see what's up. So on Bitcoin, we have had some minor levels. We did see that we did sweep that 98.590 previously. So we could look back at our previous structure from back here on the move down from all-time highs. We had some lower highs stacked across it. So we did take out most of them during the pump 2 weeks ago when we pumped to 102. And but we did leave that one high at 105.310, which we did also take out. Which we did take out on this pump. Do I think this pump is finished? Not really, not right now. I don't think this is shortable at all. Let's just have a look at the hourly here. So we can very clear see that this is a big impulse move right here. Very impulsive structure, straight up. There you have all of these very minor pullbacks, and then just keep on continuation momentum towards the upside. So with that, we do have some sort of structure inside of it. So I wanted to try to count Elliott waves inside of this, because this was my larger A, B, C. The easy Elliott wave count in here would be just as simple as this. This is wave 1. Then you're looking for a correction wave 2 to then further expand for wave 3, 4, 5. I need to move those. 4, 5. Just as simple as that. That's the higher time frame bullish structure that we would like to get. Could there be a case where this one is not done yet? Yeah, absolutely. Like this could be an expanding. You sort of have a sort of a 1, 2, 1, 2, this here 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and you could even push up into that 110 to 112,000 Bitcoin before actually seeing a larger correction back into those 98 levels, where I would be looking for then further expansion towards the upside. There is, of course, the case if you have a very strong momentum with bullish structures and Trump, of course, where you basically have very minor pullbacks instead. So we have seen that multiple times as well. Like we can look back at our previous structures. You can see that we after having these very impulsive moves, you have these very sort of minor pullbacks. So this is only a, so look, that's like a 3% pullback, and this was a 7% pullback. Those are minor pullbacks for how expanded that move is. Likely taps into that 382. Let's try to use some fibs here. Yeah, so you did tap into the 382 and then bounced. So that's a minor pullback, which could obviously happen if you do have a very strong bullish momentum. And if we have quite a bit of shorters trying to short up around these 110, 1.8, these previous highs basically, which is likely going to happen, you could get that just a consolidation in some sort of a bull flag formation to then squeeze higher. I would still count this as a wave 1, because until you get some sort of a correction that's of some scale, you're likely still in your initial impulse move, and you're still not done with this impulse towards the upside. You only have like these micro counts inside of the wave instead. So what I was looking for right now to somewhat finish this wave 1 would be some sort of 5-wave structure here. So I try to count this where I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we did tap into that wave 1, which kind of makes it less reliable. We can see that it's a very sort of contracting move. You have some sort of a rising channel or a rising wedge even, which you did break. But this break right now, it's a very weak break. You did not get a market structure break with it. So you broke down. Well, you broke out of it, but you are still holding all of the lows, making higher lows, and this is very likely some sort of bull flag here to take out these highs at 5 at least one more time. So let's have a look at some further resistance. We can look at, we did have some wicks back here at 106. So that's something we could look for. We could also look back at the level of this previous wick around that 106.7. So take out the highs here, wick up into the 106 previous resistance. You can see we rejected off it here. You see we bounced off it a few times here. We bounced off it, and when we broke that level before here, you can see we rejected and we start breaking down. So that's the level where I'm looking at for a potential short on Bitcoin. Not confirmed short. There's nothing there yet, so we have to wait and see. You could be getting that sort of optimal scenario is that you do get some sort of an impulse, like you get a liquidity sweep, you push up into this sort of resistance right here at 106.7, take out this high, you get a quite aggressive reaction back down, basically only wick above, and you close your candle below, SFP that high, and then you never touch that high again. Because if you do come back up and touch into that previous high again, this SFP or swing failure pattern would be invalidated, and you're likely just gonna get some more consolidation to then take out the high once again. So for Bitcoin, obviously I would avoid longing here unless it's like a lower time frame scalp trade. That's something I could be fine with. Oh, I accidentally had this. But yeah, we just have to look at the level. So 106.7, 105.3. And let's have a look at our previous high as well. I need to mark that out. Previous all-time high. Sure, you're gonna add this. Previous all-time high. Yeah, so that's definitely something I'm looking for as well. We could like with this squeeze going on right now, we could get that liquidity sweep, but we could also just form some sort of a bullish structure, tap this as a supportive resistance flip, and then push up into that 108. So you just gotta be careful with these shorts. It's not gonna be an easy catch, but it's worth taking a stab on once you have some more market structure regarding these levels. Because right now you do have this, it's basically higher low, bull flag formation, potential breakout, higher high, higher low. So you're kind of trading against the trend, which makes it a bit more difficult to actually catch a move. But yeah, on the higher time frames, even if you get it now or if you break the highs again, this is your impulse. This could squeeze up. You will still be looking for that correction wave, some sort of 3-wave move into likely these 99, 98k levels, where you then look for an expansion move, even more expanded towards the upside. And depending how high this pushes, we will have to have slightly different targets, fib targets. We can use our previous week levels. We do have one at 98.9, and I also was looking at that. And then we do also have this previous liquidity sweep, sort of ugly low. I would consider it ugly low at 97.5 ish. So those are like good areas to start watching longs. You do also some fib levels there as well, which are from previous highs to lows. Could also use more expanded fib, which are from all-time highs to all-time, well, not all-time lows, to the range lows. 382, you know I like my 382s, which is kind of an optimal target for most of these swing trades. We did tap one back here also. You can see that 382. And where is that 382 come from? We can look all the way back. And that's the 382 from this impulsive low into all-time highs. So that's what I would be looking for on Bitcoin. Overall, very bullish structure. Where does the bearish case here lay? It's that we smash through these levels. You likely break below this 96. You could still see a higher low, but it does increase the possibilities of this being something like a B C structure, where you take out the highs, you take out the lows, and then you start building your move towards the upside. That's not really a bearish structure either. It would just scare most people off if you do get that big of a pullback. It's unlikely, but if you do get it, and you take out these lows right here, and you tap into this 88k level, we are still looking for higher than. But until then, we are looking for higher low from an unfinished wave still. So we have to just wait it out, give us some more market structure. We have Trump news, well, Trump stepping in tomorrow. Markets are closed tomorrow. And then we have on Tuesday, market open. We will likely see a bunch of more action. Well, on everything, like stocks. The USD, so on. Let's move on to Ethereum. So Ethereum is very interesting. It looks quite different from both Solana and Bitcoin. Of course, we do have that same ABC corrective structure that we do have on basically most coins. But here is the thing. Solana and Bitcoin does not have this deep of a pullback like Ethereum does. There is a chance, because you're putting in a higher low right now. We have not seen this higher low on this type of structure on Bitcoin yet, which does some type of bullish signs for Ethereum, because obviously we shorted this high and we took it back into this previous 3.2k, and then we traded along there. We hit TP1 and then we got stopped out at break even. So yeah, like you basically have this big correction move and you're looking for an impulsive structure towards the upside. Now this is impulsive, but it's a difficult structure to count. There is the chance that this is a 5-way structure where you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even though it's a bit odd looking structure, there's a chance that that's the case. And that this is just an ABC corrective move. Because now you did see we have a very impulsive move here. You have impulsive move, breaking the B highs. That's a shift in the market. Higher highs. What are you looking for? You're looking for some sort of smaller correction to make a higher low and then keep on expanding into potentially this 3-wave structure towards the upside. If you do break these lows back here, which could happen still, if we're looking at Bitcoin, and if Ethereum shows weakness, I'm not like it's not my highest, most reliable setup overall. I don't think these lows get swept, not as of right now at least. But if they do, you're likely getting a further push into that 3K. I still think you do make a higher low from here. But of course, you gotta be more careful if you do get that. But just this very nice impulsive move that we did get, that was today even. Actually very bullish for Ethereum. As you did have this sort of rising wedge breakdown, they failed to push down price, putting in a higher low with an impulse surge upside, and now you're looking for a pullback into higher continuation. Just a common target of a 3-wave. They can be a lot more explosive, but the common target is a 1618 fib extension from your lows, C lows, to 1 high, back to your 2 correction wave low. So that's where you draw your fib extension, and your 1618 comes out at 4.1k. So if you do get that final structure towards upside here on Ethereum, you are likely to even come back and sweep these highs. Minimum sweep these highs back at the B target at 3748, because you do have a bunch of levels in between that. But yeah, so confirmation of this for me would be that you do put in a higher low here after putting in a higher high locally, for then further expanded move. Like you do also have these breaks back here. You made a low, you made a high, you made a low. Now you broke those previous highs, putting in a higher high, now putting in a higher low, and you're looking for an impulsive structure with impulsive move towards the upside to put in a higher high again. So that's what I'm looking for Ethereum. So I'm very bullish on Ethereum now actually. I think if Ethereum does start performing very well in the coming 7 to 14 days, I've talked about this before. I had my Ethereum BTC charts. Let's have a look at that. On the weekly, we do have this very nice bullish harmonic. You did tap into that 886 today with a very good reaction on ETH BTC. You can see that. You can also see that we are coming right into that 382 time fib. See that? And if you look back at the previous ones, you can see that 1382 was the local bottom. We can also see that 0382 was also the local bottom before an impulsive move for Ethereum. So just putting that into perspective with a bullish harmonic and your demand zone higher time frame fibs makes this very bullish overall for Ethereum. So I'm expecting some strength. Of course, the Ethereum Solana chart doesn't look the best. Well, Solana ETH chart. So I'm still expecting Solana to perform. Likely better than Ethereum still. But I do expect Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin soon. Like in the coming weeks, I would say. And I don't know how impulsive move we will get. But just a target from this bullish weekly harmonic, you would be targeting fibs. And the fibs, let's draw some fibs here. Highs to lows. Your very shallow target, 382. This is a conservative target. That's a 61% move for Ethereum against Bitcoin for a weekly bullish harmonic. Of course, there is the chance that ETH just does this and then just straight up nukes. We never know. We have seen it before. But if you do get that reaction and bounce here, reclaim of the 786, putting in a higher high, basically breaking all of these previous highs back here, from some type of inverse and the shoulders, then you're very likely to get that impulsive structure, well, impulsive move up on Ethereum. And that's your sort of conservative target at 3.2, but you could likely push into the 0.5, which is going to be like a 83% move from where we're currently at. So it's almost a 2x against Bitcoin if you do this hold. Like it's an easy trade, I would say, having some Ethereum instead of Bitcoin right now, because you can have a very easy invalidation. Basically, if you close a higher time frame candle below that 886 or multiple daily candles, then you're likely wanting to rotate Ethereum back to Bitcoin. But that risk towards the downside, it's like you're risking 10% against Bitcoin. So you're not risking like that you lose 10% on Ethereum, but overall for Ethereum strength against Bitcoin, it can still go up in price. But you're basically, let's have 1 to 8 risk to reward basically. So I think it's a trade worth taking, swapping some Ethereum, Bitcoin to Ethereum at their current prices. Sure, it will be a bit more risk on, so always have that in mind. And it's a heavy downtrend, so you're trading against the market, so don't over risk, but still think it's worth a shot. Just based off history, we have seen Ethereum Q1, Q2 is very good years for Ethereum. Well, not years, I mean months. Let's have a look at Solana after that. Solana. So I wanted to first just look at our macro on Solana. And you can see that I have this post right here. This is basically your entire Solana chart right now. You have multiple cup handles inside of this. Obviously, your large one from the start is this previous all-time high into bear market lows. Then you have this correction move, likely your handle, into then an impulsive move, retest, and now you're pushing towards the upside. Just based off history or how common targets for harmonics, not harmonics, I mean cup and handles, like common target is that you draw the trend line, a trend line from the lows to the cup, from the lows of the handle, cup, I mean, to the handle, and that would be it. Of course, I don't think we got to 3.6k on Solana this cycle, so I would remove that for now. But we can have used our fib targets. So it's very common for us to push 2618 higher time frame fib in a bull market. For us on Solana, from bull market highs of 2021 to bear market lows of 2023, 2022 even, your 2618 is sitting at 698. This to me is a target that's very possible. I will scale out before that because I do have my 1618, which I will target initially at 435, which I would be considering my conservative target, considering we are almost at 300 already. So 430 is my initial target for Solana macro, and then I have targets up at 690. I will likely scale some off around this range as well. Take some small batches off on the move up, because this is still a big move. If you look between the 1618 and the 2618, it's a 61% move. So it's great to scale off some along these levels. 500, very mental level. Of course, that's usually one way to trade spot. It's just play the mental levels. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, so on. Has a tendency of working out as well. Now I want to go into the more of local structure here on Solana. So I have my bullish scenario. Well, I don't really have a bearish scenario for this. Is an old bear scenario. Yep. Old bearish scenario. Look at what we got. You got that exact corrective way into perfectly 618 Also higher time frame 618, and you tap that with an inch and then just straight up. I think this is a pretty good representation. Can't speak. Pretty good showcase of what the market looks like right now. But let's remove that for now. So that's an old structure. Let's have a look at the new structure I'm looking at, which is my bull case. I will take this a bit more step by step. So higher time frames, harmonics. Where are we? What potential waves do we have? Let's start with the higher time frame one. There is a higher probability that this is your initial wave 1 for Solana. This wave 1 does also have the potential of having a double 1 2, basically meaning this is 1 2 1 2 3 4 5, which is very nice. Then you have a large corrective structure into that previous golden pocket. Perfect bounce, impulsive structure towards the upside. This is likely only your wave 1 inside of this entire wave 3. Is this wave 1 done? I don't know. The lower time frame structure is very complex on Solana, so it's a very difficult count. But we can just use fibs at previous highs, levels, and we can see that we did break above previous all-time highs. We even came back, retested it, and you're right now hovering around that previous high. So let's add some layers to this. We have a structure locally that we're looking for now, and that is this 5-wave move inside of your 3-wave. 3-wave is the most impulsive move in a Eldritch wave most of the time. I would say most of the time, because wave 5 can also be very expanded. But let's just looking at this. So this wave 3, what I mean with that is that this wave 3 common target is around at 500. We can use some fib extensions for that. From the lows to the highs, back to the lows. And you have your common target 1618. It's at $400. Common target for wave 3 is gonna be that. I do think I have it marked out already if I do use this. Yeah, right there. $400. Common wave 3 target could be as expanded as a 2618 or even a 2618, pushing into 500 and $600. But let's just start off by targeting the common target at 1618. So what are we looking for now? We are looking for a correction. Even if this, well, yeah, like we could try to count this where you have a 1 2 3 4 5, because this right now here looks like very single wavy. Basically, you do have this very small structure that you could count potentially on the lower time frames, but it's such a difficult count. I'm not even gonna try it. I'd rather just wait for us to sort of build some sort of market structure that shows that we are topped out, or just we have this high here, we form some sort of a bullish flag once again, we take out the high, SFE the high, you have your stop loss above the high, you enter on the lower high, and then you look for a correction wave into these sort of previous imbalances, and well, you basically have these lows back here on Solana. I would consider them pretty ugly lows. You have liquidity all around them at 211. Of course, that would be a deeper pullback. Like that would be a 20% pullback from our current move up. But we do have to keep in mind that the move up is a 75% move in 5 days. Well, 6 days. In 6 days. Which is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But even if you do get this pullback, you're still looking for that higher low for some type of bottom, maybe a double bottom or something like that, into these previous highs, previous lows. I've marked those out as well. If I add this, no, that's previous one. Let me just add everything now. Yeah, so I added. So we have all of these previous levels. You can see, look back here. We rejected, we bounced, we broke below it. And 205 is the level where I'm most interested in. At 205, you have your 3 and 2 fib right there. My favorite. Those are from the highs to the lows. That would be a deeper correction, but that would still likely be just be into your golden pocket if this was your move up, and then you could get that expanded move again towards the upside into 1618, $400, potentially 2618 at 545. But until we get some sort of structure that actually shows that we are done with this wave one, because there is a possibility that this wave one, very impulsive structure, is just starting, like where you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can get an expanded 5 into $340 before we know it, basically. And since we do have a lot of fluctuations and news and Trump, it's a bit unpredictable to trade. So you just gotta be careful with that. Most of the time right now, you're better off looking at lower time frame scalp trades instead of swing trades until you get some sort of larger correction or another impulsive move that you can then look for shorts to catch on the move down. We do also have, I'm not gonna remove that. We do also have some, if you look on some volume nodes, we can see our volume nodes, we have a value area high of previous range at 248. So that's gonna be your first price to watch on the pullback. And then you have that 0.5 to 618 fib into your point of control, previous range highs and range lows, support and resistance flip, where you are likely getting some sort of reaction. If this is going to be your bottom and you just move from here, that would be amazing. But you could also just get that action, right, consolidation here, get that wick out, and then start moving from there. Would not surprise me, would be something I would like to long, but I would also start looking for longs around these areas between 220 down towards 216. So I guess if you do want to look at trades possibilities, I would set two different ones here. Initially, you only target the highs, but expanded target up into that previous 1618 fib. But of course, you scale out along the way, which that would be some sort of initial trade, and this would be some sort of your optimal trade where you have your stop loss below the 786, and then you initially target that previous highs. That's a 125, and then a potential moon bag up into those 1618 fib at 1 to 11 risk to reward. So those are trades I would be looking at once, or if we get a correction wave for Solana. You do also have a very nice 786 fib at value area low. I don't think we get to it, but if we do, as long as it holds, it's bullish. If you start breaking below it, I would be quite worried, but nothing we have to worry about now. We are at 270 and not 190. It's quite some way to go if you were to go for that. So that's what I would be looking for, Solana. Do you guys have any coin requests? Sorry guys if I sound a bit nosy. AI XPT deck screener. Let me hop on that. I remember making a prediction on where this would top out. I need to go back and look for that comment. Let me have a look if I can find this. Let me buy that one. Yeah. I mean, I've been playing it so simple on AXPT, where you have one trend line and you have bounced off it, bounced off it, bounced off it, bounced off it, deviation below, impulse. I don't see the reason to buy here. We do have these lows back here that are of interest to me. If you were to get a corrective structure towards the downside, you could also put in that higher low. So I would be wary of that at that 450 million market cap range. This could also be a correction where that's done, or that you're just looking for a continuation here towards the upside. Personally, I don't have any good risk to reward on AXPT at these prices. It's like 23% from all-time highs. And if you get back just a minor pullback back into that previous trend line, it's a 40% pullback. But of course, like strength is definitely on your side if you're holding AXPT. You could be looking at this as a contracting move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, you're looking for an ABC corrective way to then expand further. Yeah, so like the only areas for me that's actually interesting for AXPT, it's either higher low at 400. Let's put a box on that. 400 to 450 million market cap, or us taking out the lows. Taking out these lows back at 320. So basically something like this are the only areas that actually does interest me. And this looks very, let's have a look. Wow, it's big volume spike. Because this structure here is also very ABC likely. ABC, like yeah, there is the possibility that this is just your basically your wave. This structure is already done. You had a corrective way, and now you're looking for an expansion towards the upside. 1, 2, 3. So like I wouldn't buy here, but if you hold it, I would be fine holding it. Just set like a local stop loss if you want to secure some profits if you break a new low. So like 550. Break below 550, you're likely making a lower low, and then you can get a pullback all the way into that 400 or into that 300 area. Highs, there is nothing we can target like here. It's the local highs at 800. We can of course try to use some fibs. Even gonna use some fibs from here. Let's see if I can find some correlation here. 1618. We did flip that already once. Yeah, so if you flip that 1618, you're likely getting continuation towards the upside. Let's try to add some more fibs here. 3618 to 618. Let's have your common targets here. Yeah, so initial target, if you do reclaim 1618, 980 million. Very expanded target is 1.24 billion at 3618. So that's about a 2x from here. If you get up to the 3618, But yeah, still no interest for me. I traded it from back here into this high, and then I sold like all of it. So it was a good trade for me, but I still fumbled the bag a bit, but that's fine. Now I would just be waiting for this, some type of contracting structure inside of this potential inverse, well, headed shoulders, get that fake out towards the downside, then up. I take out all of these fibs. So yeah, that's my take on AXPT. Wormhole. Oh, I have a chart for that even right here. What do we have here? Yeah, so it's odd to see some coins move very much like ETH. Meanwhile, we did have a bunch of nice strong coins on Solana. Wormhole is on Solana, but it's moving like ETH. Overall structure is still intact. You're making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So until you break this low back here, this is still a higher low, and you are considering this correction wave done, and you're still looking for an expanded move towards the upside. This will likely take some time. Like you could consolidate in here for a bit, like even up to 2 weeks. But I still think overall it's a very nice zone. You did front run the 6786, which is very interesting to see. Oh, maybe my fifth. Yeah, we did front run it. So maybe you have. I do see this as a potential inverse head and shoulders. I was looking at this as your right shoulder, but this seems more likely. You did put in a higher low right now, but you still have some highs to reclaim. You do have that higher high right there. Overall higher time frame highs, gonna be all the way back at 0.3. We do have this as, yeah, like this looks like Ethereum chart, where you have a 1 2 3 4 5, or a 1 2 3 4 5, basically. So it's like, it does look pretty 5 wavy. A B C, I guess, could also be the case. No, I don't know. I think I like it more as a 5-way structure, this one. And this does look very 3 wavy. We can see that. You made a nice higher low. I would like to see us come back to these lows again. Because this overall structure at the lows is not very nice. So if you come back here, make some type of higher lows again, or even wick those lows out and then come up, is what I would be looking for a push down. If we look on levels towards the upside, just look at those previous highs that we did back here. Reclaim that 0.2629. Reclaim that. Then you're likely getting a push into that 0.33. So those, let's just mark out the levels I will be watching in red. So these are the levels I will be looking at. If this does not hold, I would still be expecting us to make a higher low from this low back here. Since we did front run the 76, we could come back for that, tap into the 76 properly this time, get a nice reaction, and then push up. So I would add that to a potential scenario that I could be looking for on Wormhole. Overall, will take some time, but structure is intact and it's bullish. You have a nice risk to reward towards upside. I would not take any trades off it right now. It's a bit 50-50. But with a reclaim, your strength shows and you're likely to push towards upside. Or you get a sweep of the lows, or even those previous lows back at that 0.2185. And yeah, 0.32 first target, 0.38 second target. expanded targets for this entire move, I'm talking spot now, would be that you're initially looking at these previous highs, 0.41. Overall, this is ascending triangle. I like to trade these after you take out the lows, well, this trend line basically, which we did. You can see we bricked below, we reclaimed it, but right now we're hovering around it. But for overall this structure, I would be targeting something like these previous highs back here at 0.7, which from current price is about a 3x to take out the highs. I think that's a good initial TP for spot where you close about 50% or so into that 382 fib. I think those fibs are from the highs to the lows. Shadow. Yes, I do hold some shadow. Let's see if it's done anything. It's still a very small bag of mine. I might have to do this. Considering everything else, like Solana is a lot bigger. I forgot. TradingView decided it was fun to clean my charts. Let's see if I can do this. Changing some settings real quick. Okay, let's have a look at this again. I know what I was looking at here. Oh, no, I accidentally removed it. It's going great now. I was looking at this. You can see that we did retest it right now. And I was looking at this as your wave, 5 waves. I was looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically this as your wave 1 is what I was initially looking at. I was looking at this as a correction wave. I did think we were down back here, but apparently we did want to go slightly lower. So we did wick lower. Structure, as long as these lows back here hold at the 0, you're still looking for that impulsive towards the upside for higher targets. We do have these previous highs back at 380. Of course, there is, I guess, a high chance that we do never get these highs again, because they were all the way back in. Let's have a look at when those were. Well, it was 2024 actually. Not bad, not bad. And we can use some targets here for fib extensions. Let's see. Trend-based fib extensions. Highs to lows. Well, lows to highs to lows. 1618 target, common for wave 3. You are looking at that 1618, 320 million market cap. Overall, I think the risk is still worth it. You're basically risking that 40% for the potential 360% take profit target. I will scale off if you do get back into these highs again. At the 1, that's about a 3.5x. Overall, let's have a look at some fibs here too. We have the 786, 886. Yeah, so we did tap 886, which does make it slightly higher chance that we do come back and take these lows out. But I'm still willing to risk it. It's still a higher low right now. 786 would be a bullish reclaim, so you did get that sort of an ABC corrective way. But I thought this was your C, but apparently they wanted to push it lower. But that's fine. Like I'm still fine with that risk that I have right there. It's a smaller bag of mine. I mean, it's not much more to it. You're looking for a structure break. You have your higher time frame structure break. Now you're looking for a local structure break. Potential trade scenarios. You have all of these lows back here, L highs. I mean, So you could potentially take out. That would put in that higher low, higher high, and you could get that retest of 76, and that's where you get your potential impulsive move towards the upside here into some type of LJ wave potentially. Let's add a ABC here. So if Solana decides to dump heavily in Bitcoin, we will take out the lows. If you take out the lows, you have to look for either a swing failure pattern, basically, where you just reclaim it and deviate below, or you will just have to cut the position. Well, I would cut the position first, and then you can reconstruction and wait for actual bullish structure to build once again before you buy in or look to trade it. Layer AI. I still hold some Layer AI. Hasn't been one of my performers. It's still very much in the structure I am expecting. It's starting to enter my DCA zone, where I was looking to enter some more. Overall, some of these lower cap AI coins have been very weak. Like AI Tech is another one. But I am fine holding this into this zone. I would prefer if we don't tap the 886. So I would like to make a slightly higher low there. There is the chance that this is still only a corrective structure and we do take out this low. Then we have to look back and we can see our previous lows back here. Yeah, so that's the important low, but that would still be quite a dump. We looked at where we have 40%. Ooh, yeah, like I if you tap the 886, give me a good reaction of these lows, and I will still hold my bag. If you do get a weak reaction or a bad reaction of that, I am very happy to cut my bag and rotate that into somewhere else. But like as long as you hold this red box, I am still looking at this as a PO3. This is your accumulation, manipulation, and that would be your expanded move towards the upside here as your distribution. And that could be very explosive. Very explosive. But I don't want to bag hold to zero. Let's have a look at Bonk. Sure, I have some old structure on this. Actually, I don't. Wait, I think I do. To look. Maybe I cleared it. Oh yeah, I mean, Bonk very bullish. Very bullish. I still hold the Bonk bag. I do have a whiff bag also. With Solana pumping, Bonk has been absolutely performing. It's up 54% from the lows. I do think you even took out the lows. Yeah, you did. So that's very nice. It does basically look like the Solana short. If you look at this, you have this long consolidation, a breakout. You did not come down quite to retest it, but you did have a support and resistance flip. Resistance, 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 break up, retest, support, take out the lows, pump from there. So it's very nice. You can just look back at the highs. Let's add some local levels to this. That's also likely a corrective structure here, even though that's a very short C wave, or if this is a C wave and this is only your take out the lows and this is your wave 1, could also be a potential play. I would not buy here, of course. I don't think it's shortable either. You have to either basically come out, take out the lost locals into these bearish fair value gaps, and that's where you can start breaking down again. while breaking down, I would be looking for a higher low to then push into that previous high at 0.5965. It's very simple for me. Overall structure is very nice. Could even see this inverse head and shoulders, even though it's a bit odd. For a continuation play. Which would put you at into new all-time highs around 0.8162 or 61. Yeah. Can add some fibs to that, see if there's any correlation here. It's a bit in between. 1618, you have that at 0. It's 0.7. 2618 at point. Well, you basically moves to 0.1. So that's around a 3x from current price. 4x almost. Oh, 3x. I mean, it's a 3.8. Let's see. Scout and 3 Sigma. Guessing those are here on deck screener. I'm just gonna go through this quick now, guys. Very, very quick. Let's see. I would be waiting for this to cross. We are flattening out, which is good. Your selling pressure is weakening, but there is still not enough buy pressure. You can see that every bump we get 3 more sell-offs. So you get a buy in, sell, buy in, sell. So now you want to actually get that sort of correlation here where you get that push towards the upside. That's an actual proper push. And then you get a range or a consolidation of some sort. And then you can get that final push, which would actually invalidate this downtrend and turn it into an uptrend. I guess you could look for that inverse at the shoulders. For then expansion into like previous highs. I would just be targeting these previous wicks back there at 9.7 million if you do get this, but you'd still need a bunch of consolidation to actually regain that the accumulation phase that you need before you can actually break out properly. It can still bounce, but that would just likely be a pump and up. So if you get that, that's very impulsive without some type of consolidation. It's very likely just an push up and then push down, and you're making lower lows again. 3 Sigma. Keep in mind, I don't know anything about these coins aside from the chart. Chart is better looking than the previous one. Still weak overall. We can see here same. For every bounce you have multiple sell-offs. You did have a slightly more bounce here, but you see here, this is what I talked about when I mean you only get a pump without consolidation. When you get that pump without consolidation, this is not a reaccumulation. This is mostly people buying here, pushing price up, people foaming a bit, and then the scalpers just sell here, and everyone starts selling because there's sell pressure coming in, and people are scared. So what would you like to see is reaccumulation. Even if it's in a downtrending reaccumulation, you want to see some type of rangy structure. You could even see that sort of initial bull flag formation or whatever you want. Get that break up. After breakup, you want to see consolidation. Consolidation is a sign of strength, showing that we have buyers, we have sellers, but buyers are stronger. And then you could be initially targeting that previous high. Overall, this structure right now, this back here is basically what we were looking at on Scout right now. So overall, this structure is slightly nicer. but it's still far from good. You are hovering around an 86 fib. Reclaim of the 786 would be nice. Or if you want to catch a knife wick down below 886, get that deviation back up, then that could be a scalp trade where you only trade it back to that 786 fib at the 2x, or then potentially leave a moon bag into those previous highs at 50 million for a 3.5x. So these are like multiple ways to trade this. We can see that volume has been sustained, which is good. It's very good. So yeah, it's definitely something to look for. Local structure, we can zoom in even more here, hourly. You are seeing these nice, that's sort of nice accumulation. Like we can look at all of these previous ones. It's nowhere as nice as this one. You are ranging here. It's a good sign of strength. This is, if you were to enter a trade here, I personally don't, but if you were to enter a trade here, it's pretty easy in validation. Just set it below the lows, because if you break the lows, you're likely coming in that 86. Set it below the lows. Look for that reclaim to see some strength, some sort of bull flag formation, and then get that push up into 48 million. Well, 40 million first would be your mental level. There's some good thoughts on that coin. Bus. I do think I have a bus chart somewhere. US. Let's see. Maybe not. I do have it. Bus is actually very nice looking. I wouldn't top blast. I'm not a top blaster, because you have a lot higher probability of being in drawdown then. And you have to sit in that drawdown for a while. I did miss my initial buy here. Because this dip right here, was very nice for a buy. I bounced off it multiple times before. You had a deviation below that trending line. And they have a very impulsive move back into the highs. You have not broken those previous highs. I do see this inverse head and shoulders. So I guess it could be worth taking a small stab here. Set stop loss below that previous low. That's risking about 50%. And hope you do get that breakout impulsive move towards the upside for some sort of 2.5x or higher than that. Right now, I'd rather wait for that flip. So you wait for that impulse move. Now, of course, it's a meme, well, not a meme coin, AI coin, which is a very low cap. So you could get this, basically. And that's the negative, like the aspect of that is, if I were to look for this, is that I could just be leaving this move on the table, basically missing out. So that's definitely one risk where you take if you're waiting for confirmations. But yeah, I like that inverse head and shoulders. Higher low. You made a higher high. You are looking for that continuation towards the upside. If you do decide to come down, you're very likely still in this contracting move, and you would likely be bidding these higher lows right here. You could have a tight stop below that previous low, or all the way back into that local low that we did make when the market dumped and bottomed out, basically. Ray. I don't think there's too much to say at Ray, considering how absolutely insane of a short this is. Yeah. You don't want to buy here. That much I can say. I know Craig, Greeny all bought down here. I bought around here. And basically we're scaling profits now. It's not the entry. I'd rather just scale out on this move up. We have a very impulsive moves up. If you do count this as waves, this is likely gonna be your wave 1 here. 1, 2, and then they have a very complex wave 3. Or even if this has a 5-wave move and this is your corrective structure, then this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially. And you sort of find the local top. Impulsive wave 5 can also be very expanded. So this could push up into like $11 if it wants to. These are fib targets from previous highs. So these highs all the way up bear market lows. 0.5, 8.9, 618, $11, 786. So these are not likely going to hit. It could, but not likely. A 2x from here. Well, actually, I need to check the market cap on this. Because I know supply is circulating fully. Oh, not fully actually. So it's 3.84. Well, this could easily 2x. Yeah, 4 billion. 4 billion from here. That would push to 786. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so we could get this as well. Likely even if Solana keeps pushing. But yeah, still not an entry here. Like your maximum sort of getting a 2-3x out of this. Which it's not worth it. Swing trade wise, you are just looking for that retest. That's basically it. And that's $5.3. And you can swing trade it back to the highs, 7.6, and then potentially into fibs. Swing trade, I mean then leverage, low leverage, or just spot buy, but considering it a trade, so just sell at initial targets. Ave. I do think I said Avi needed some time. I still believe it needs some time before it can actually move. But like, there's absolutely nothing bearish about this. You have the same structure you did have on Solana. Just that you're in the very early stages here. And this could likely consolidate for quite some time. Even if you do get some wicks up, you're likely still going to consolidate in some type of range for another, I guess, 60 days, potentially even. And then you would just be looking for some sort of bull flag. And then you could look for expansion. Do I think it's worth buying here? I know market cap and isn't that high. Let's have a look. Oh, it's at 5 billion. Okay. So it's not low, but it's not very high either. I mean, 2x back into the highs, I think. Yeah, around the 2x back into the highs. About 10 billion market cap. It's a difficult one. I probably wouldn't buy it for spot. But I love swing trading it. A nice, some sort of double bottom here. You'll likely take out these highs. Like, these are all sort of ugly highs. Let's remove even these things. These right now are quite ugly highs. So you could get that expanded move here. Take out the highs. Get some sort of manipulation area here. Get that push back into range again. Where you either form a higher low from this overall structure, or you start breaking down into that trend line, take out the lows again, and then go up. These are things that can take time. Higher time for a structure with patience is very bullish. You basically take this. Let's have a look. We take this and we flip this. You basically look at this. Consolidation. I guess not that type of liquidity sweep, but like overall structure wise, that's what you're looking for. Likely a bit of a range trade for Aave. You can trade this range, 30% range. Flip the point, well, mid range of it. You can likely swing it back up to the highs, possibly even above the highs. Take out the highs, and then you can start looking for weakness on the lower time frames. Scalp it down back to your mid range to 22% move, and that's where you look for a higher low or a weakness again to get back to the range low. Okay, I don't have a single chart of this, do I? I don't. I am bullish on Tau. It's one of the bigger AI coins, and I do think big AI coins run. Fetch, I think runs. I think Render runs, and like even if I don't hold any Tau, I think it runs with them. Overall structure wise, let's have a look. Has had some time to consolidate here. You've basically been moving sideways for 122 days. You did take out the lows, which is good to me. Took out the lows twice actually. That's only a wick, and that's a proper sweep. You do have this inverse, well, head and shoulders to worry about. Easy invalidation of this head and shoulder is breakout this high. 566. You still want to see more strength here, because you did put in like that lower low, lower low, lower low potentially. So you want to see some more structure here to form this low, higher low, and then you could be looking for this potential cup and handle. Initially targeting that previous high. Well, let's see. That previous high. Or you could, and after targeting this initial high, you're looking for the same thing here as you did right back here. You're looking for that push, consolidation, form that similar cup and handle structure wise, get that retest, reclaim, push into highs. So some multiple trading opportunities here on Tau, which I like the most of them. So yeah, I will actually be quite interested in Tau for long scalps and even potentially swing trades. I will still wait a bit, but it's something I'm adding to my list of watching. Let's see, Pepe. So I will do these last two, Pepe and LLM. Oh wow, shirt is messy. Think I have another one. Yeah. Overall, this is the range I'm watching. You did deviate below these lows multiple times. I still don't like how these lows look. Not at all. So I still think Pepe has some time before it actually starts moving very impulsively towards the upside. Sure, you could be putting in higher lows here, but these are all sort of screaming to be taken out. You did take out that lows back there. Something we could be looking for is this inverse head and shoulder. You get this retest, but you do need some more strength here. I would not be long in this unless we get more structure. Double bottom potential here. You fail to break out. That's some sign of weakness. You could be looking for ascending triangle here, which would be an expanded move towards the upside to top of the range. But yeah, there's no clear direction on Pith here. You just gotta keep range trading. I think it has the potential to push back still into these lows, as well as I do on Mog. So that's where I would be interested in a larger time frame swing trade, is to take out the lows, make a proper low, and then kind of test this support and resistance flip, similar to what Bonk did. But right now we've just been front running this on Pepe to get that push down, push up, and that's where you can take out the highs. That's the highest likelihood I see. LLM. So the last one for today. What do I see here? I do see this as a bearish, actually. Sure, you have this cup, you have a handle, you try to break up. That's a failed breakout. Putting in a lower low, a lower high. What would save this is that if you do create a higher low right now and you start consolidating, that would be bullish. But unless that happens, this likely takes out these lows at least one more time, and potentially even these lows back here. And yeah, that's quite a bear structure overall. 76 at 39 million. A loss of these fibs. You could you'd need some more structure to actually buy this. But yeah, like a higher low here could save it. Some sort of V-shaped recovery, break the high, market structure shift, and then break up towards the upside. That way you could have an expanded move towards the upside here for bullish. But right now the highest probability is that this is a failed breakout. You did not manage to break the high. You made a lower high, and you're looking back at the lows, initial lows, previous lows that made a high. So that's where I would be looking. And you still overall, for this to remain a bullish structure, you have to hold these lows. If you sweep these lows, this is overall lower highs, lower lows. That will be. So you need a lot more structure for that, and that would take a lot more time. And it's a meme coin, well, or air coin or whatever. It's a low cap at the end of the day. It can dump quite heavily. You could get that pullback into 25 million. So it's still a possibility. You're already dumped from 160 to 25 million once. So yeah, that's my take on LLM. Well, I think I'm done for today, guys. Thank you guys for listening. And I will see ya in the chat or next week.